ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपथकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्दा राधा कान्दा नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण हरि ओम तत्सत। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, 64 sloka onwards. सर्वगुह्यतमं भूया शृणु मे परमं वचा इष्टोऽसि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्। सर्वगुह्यतमं भूया शृणु मे परमं वचा इष्टोऽसि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्। हरे कृष्णा तारिणी माता जी, मयूरी माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। सर्वगुह्यतमं भूय शृणु मे परमं वच इष्टोऽसि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
जी। म्यूट में।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा।
Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit.
Very good. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. So Krishna is telling Arjuna. So what's the reason that Krishna is revealing all this most confidential knowledge? Because he is very dear friend of Krishna. So Krishna treat Arjuna as a very, very close and dear friend. That's why he is speaking to him his supreme instruction. The most confidential knowledge of all. As we all know, there are confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, and most confidential knowledge. Guhyam, Guhyataram, Guhyatamam. So here, Krishna is giving him, instructing him the most confidential knowledge, the topmost knowledge. Knowledge in itself is good, but there are different levels of knowledge also. Okay. So here he is getting the topmost knowledge. That is the most confident knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. So please hear this, and it is for your benefit only. That's why Krishna is telling. So after speaking different levels of knowledge, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, everything is. But he is emphasizing the topmost, the top level of knowledge, bhakti. So the Lord has given Arjuna knowledge that is confidential, knowledge of Brahman, and still more confidential knowledge of super soul within everyone's heart. And now he's giving the most confidential part of the knowledge. Just surrender unto the Supreme Personality. That is a final instruction. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So he has given he has given the confidential knowledge, that is Brahman, and Paramatma is more confidential knowledge, and Bhagavan is the most confident knowledge. Okay, Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavan iti Sabhyade. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says. So the most confident knowledge is the aspect of Bhagavan. In Bhagavan, you will find that the other two aspects as Brahman and Paramatma. So a person who has surrendered to the person Bhagavan, the supreme person Bhagavan, he has the other knowledge automatically. That is Brahman and Paramatma. So what is the instruction? Just surrender unto Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, surrender to Lord Sri Krishna. At the end of the 9th chapter, he has said, Manmana, Manmana, Bhav Mad Bhakto, Madhyaji Imam Namaskuru. Right? So 4 instruction Lord Krishna has given. Always remember me, Manmana, Bhav Mad Bhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Namaskuru, pay obeisance unto me. So if you do this, rest will automatically happen. No specific endeavor is required. So Manmana, Bhav Mad Bhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. Just always think of me. The same instruction is repeated here to stress the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. This essence is not understood by a common man, but by one who is actually very dear to Krishna, pure devotee of Krishna, who has the key for the most confidential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Who has the key? What's the qualification to get into the depth of this knowledge?
Submissiveness.
Who is the Shuddha Bhakta Prabhu?
Yeah, devotee, a pure devotee. A pure devotee has the key to the secrets or in-depth meaning of this Bhagavad Gita section. It's only a pure devotee. So Arjuna was a pure devotee, and plus he was a friend of Krishna. So this essence is not understood by a common man. See, everybody reads Bhagavad Gita. You know, the person who is a pure devotee understands the topmost knowledge. The way a pure devotee understands Bhagavad Gita, will an ordinary man understand? Even though he may be a scholar, Sanskrit scholar, simply by knowing Sanskrit, will he be able to understand the Bhagavad Gita's message? No. It is not possible. Then it's, in that case, whoever has command in this particular language will understand. No, it's an open book. It's an open book, but everyone cannot fathom or understand that. Only a pure devotee can understand. So that's why it said that this essence is not understood by a common man, but by one who is actually very dear to Krishna, a pure devotee of Krishna. So who can understand? Only a pure devotee of Krishna can understand the essence, the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, not everyone. So this is the most important instruction in all Vedic literature. What Krishna is saying in this connection is the most essential part of knowledge, and it should be carried out not only by Arjuna, but by all living entities. So this should be carried out by all. This message, the instruction is not just for Arjuna. So Arjuna has been used as an instrument to convey or to impart this knowledge to all of us. So we also, like Arjuna, we should become pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, so that we also can comprehend whatever instruction Krishna is giving to Arjuna. So the special mercy of the Supreme Lord to Arjuna is because he's very dear friend and is a pure devotee. So that is a qualification. So if you also become a pure devotee, definitely the in-depth meaning, the essence, okay, and all the instruction that is given to Arjuna by Supreme Lord Krishna, we also can understand very easily. Otherwise, it's not easy to understand. Even though one may be an expert in Sanskrit language, but what Krishna wanted to impart, he will not get any idea. So he should become a devotee only, then it is possible for us to comprehend this knowledge. Otherwise, it's not possible at all. Okay, so any questions or any comments? So confidential, more confidential, most confidential. Different levels of knowledge. So Krishna is giving, finally, he is giving the most confidential knowledge to Arjuna. He has given different levels of knowledge. There's no doubt. That's why, people will get confused. Krishna is telling in the karma yoga, karma is the best. Then when it comes to jnana, that is the best. When it comes to dhyana, that is the best. Then bhakti, that is the topmost. But then people will confuse. Why is he Krishna telling all these things? Isn't it? So that's the reason we should be a devotee. Only a devotee will be able to understand what is the right and the topmost knowledge. Okay, so any questions or any points for that? Parag Prabhu, you want to share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, nothing, Prabhu. Thank you.
So we'll go to the text 65. So this is the sloka which is repeated in 934. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Okay, Parag Prabhu and Madaji.
मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मध्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji translation. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend.
Very good. So what's the instruction? There are 4 instructions as we explained earlier. Always think of me. What is that? Smartavyam sadadam Vishnu vismartavyam na jadujit. Sarve biti nishedasyu edayor eva kinkara. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Isn't it? So here also he is telling, always think of me, remember me. Become my devotee and worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Okay. He is very dear friend of Krishna. There are Yudhishthira Maharaj is there, Bhima is there, and Nakula Sahadev, all are there. But this special mercy was given only to Arjuna. What is the reason? He is a very dear friend. So that's the reason. So we also can become, a good devotee of Lord Krishna. Then we'll also, whatever is required to be learned will automatically be known to us. No special endeavor is required. Otherwise, even if you read so many times, so many times we'll have doubt. What is it? What does it mean? I didn't understand. So many times happens. We have to read many times. Still we don't understand. Then we'll have to ask somebody. And there also there's limitation. According to that person's capacity, he will explain. So only a pure devotee like Acharyas, okay, Mahajanas can explain. That's why commentary is given. Otherwise, translation is enough, no? Why the purport is given by Srila Prabhupada? Without purport, will we understand anything? No. We will not understand anything. Otherwise, translation is not enough. Even after a so long purport of Prabhupada, quoting Sridhar Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and so many other acharyas, we are not able to understand. We need to be explained again and again. Then only it will go inside, isn't it? So a very dear friend, a pure devotee will get the knowledge in the right perspective. So the most confidential part of the knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official meditator. So what do you mean by official meditator, Parag Prabhu? One should not become an official meditator.
Doing the meditation as a duty, Prabhuji, means not to have the bhakti, just to doing only as a duty. you are
That's
doing,
as a duty, as a ritual.
as a ritual.
As a ritual. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. Now, our life should be so molded that, we should find some ways to always think of Krishna. Even when we are at home, when we are in office, when we are outside, there should be the things that we are doing, it should be in such a way that we should be able to remember Krishna always. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or I don't know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I think, composed some grammar, Sanskrit grammar, all connected with Krishna's name. I am not very sure whether it's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or somebody else. Any idea?
So Prabhuji, Jeev Goswami.
Jiva Goswami. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So all, grammar completely connected with Krishna's name, different names. So always we can remember Krishna. Okay. So he should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours, he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. The most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is the dear friend of Krishna. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Krishna and obtain the same perfections as Arjuna. So every one of us, we stand a chance to become perfect as Arjuna. Okay. What is required? We have to become a pure devotee, just like Arjuna. So these words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna. The very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish boy with a beautiful face and peacock feathers in his hair. So we should meditate on the Shama Sundara form of the Supreme Lord. So there are descriptions of Krishna found in the Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on this original form of Krishna, original form of Godhead Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. One should not even divert the attention to other forms of the Lord. So this Shama Sundara form, holding a flute, having a peacock on his head, yellow dhoti. So this is and three-bent form, Tribhanga Lalita. So that is the best form to meditate upon, not even any other forms. That's what Prabhupada says. One should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead, Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi forms as Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge, and this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the most dear friend of Krishna. So in the purport, Prabhupada very clearly says that we should concentrate on the transcendental form of the Lord, which is Shama Sundara form, which was presented just before Arjuna. So that is the right form, not even any other form. That's the best form. So why not go for the best? Yeah, text 66. This is a beautiful slogan again. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Okay, Vandana Mataji and Tarini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचा.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Very
Hare
good.
Krishna.
Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Initially, Lord Krishna said, why he came, why he appeared, why he descended from the spiritual world. What was the reason? Three main reasons.
To
To
protect the
protect the dharma.
What is that? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya
Vinashaya
dushkritam
Dushkritam.
dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavam. Okay. Dharma samsthavana. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam sajamyam. Now he's telling abandon. First he's telling I have come to re-establish dharma. Now he is telling Arjuna you have abandoned. So how do you explain this, Tarini Mataji? How we can understand? First he is telling he came, the main purpose of his appearance in the material world, descending from the spiritual world to the material world, is to re-establish dharma. Now he's telling abandon all this, all varieties, this religion, dharma. And further he says just surrender. So why is he telling that? In the first
Prabhuji.
he's telling, okay, dharma, to re-establish dharma, I come. That's one of the reasons out of the three. Now he's telling abandon it. Why?
Prabhuji, other than Krishna consciousness, other religion which we follow give the bondage to this material world, Prabhuji. So,
No.
last
Why Krishna is telling now, when he says that his main purpose of coming to this material world is to re-establish dharma. Now he's telling, forget about dharma. Abandon that. All varieties, not all varieties of dharma. And what he is telling Arjuna, just surrender to me. So what is most important?
Krishna consciousness, Parodharma, serving to Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, surrendering to Krishna's instruction, Krishna's will. That is topmost dharma. All other dharma, there are so many dharmas. Stri dharma, Purusha dharma, Raja dharma, Kula dharma, this dharma, so many Samanya dharmas are there. These are all secondary to surrendering to Krishna. So that is the topmost. There is Jnana Marg is there, Karma Marg is there, Dhyana Marg is there. These are all inferior in comparison to the real dharma, that is bhakti or total surrenderance to Krishna. Krishna. So that is what initially definitely for general public, what is important? Dharma, following dharma. So only by following dharma one can raise himself. Okay, he can advance himself to surrender to Krishna totally. Okay, when you surrender to Krishna, as you surrender to Krishna, you'll become more independent. Freedom. Okay, independence. So when you are not surrendering, you are totally dependent. As you surrender, your independence increases. Independence, that freedom increases. So that's why if you want to free yourself from the bondage of this material world, then the best thing is to surrender to Krishna. Then you will be totally free. Then what he says, I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction, do not fear. So if you take total surrenderance of me, don't worry, O Arjuna, do not fear, I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Rest assured that you will not undergo any sinful reaction for whatever you do, because you are following my instruction. You are performing the activities according to my instructions. So do not fear. So this is the ultimate instruction that Krishna is giving to Arjuna. Abandon all varieties of religion. Because why you are going after karma, jnana, dhyana and all? Ultimately that also leads to bhakti, which instructs complete surrender. So bhakti means complete surrender. Arjuna surrendered to Lord Sri Krishna completely. Okay, so he was not at all concerned about the result of the war. He was totally, surrendered to Krishna. So he was anxiety free during the war. It is Krishna's concern. It's not my concern, because he was totally in surrenderance to Krishna. So the Lord has described various kinds of knowledge and processes of religion. Knowledge of the Supreme Brahman, knowledge of the Supersoul, knowledge of the different types of orders and statuses of social life, knowledge of the renounced order of life, knowledge of the non-attachment, sense and mind control, meditation, etc. He has described in so many ways different types of religion. Okay, so throughout Bhagavad Gita, you'll find different types of instruction. We'll also get confused. Krishna is telling something in some place, and exactly opposite is telling in other place. So what is right? Which one is correct? Which one is wrong? We don't know. That's why we need acharyas like Srila Prabhupada to do postmortem of all these slokas and give to us the right meaning, because they have realized the absolute truth, the instruction. So that's why Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. They're all tattvadarshis. They have realized it. We are not realized. So only such acharyas can give us the right information. With our own effort, it is not possible to get the right information, right knowledge. So now in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjuna should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. That's why he said, whatever I have said so far, just ignore it. That is just for knowledge. If Prabhupada is telling, in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjuna should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. He should simply surrender to Krishna. Simply surrender to Krishna means acting upon the instructions of Krishna, acting as per the instruction of Krishna, without asking any this thing. Yes, now it is day. Yes, day. Now it is night. Night. We have even given our that intelligence and freedom, everything to Krishna. It doesn't mean that we are slaves. We know whatever Krishna is telling is for our benefit. So why to break the head? Whatever Krishna is telling is for our benefit. Just follow him. That's enough. So Arjuna should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. He should simply surrender to Krishna. That surrender will save him from all kinds of sinful reactions. For the Lord personally promises to protect him. So if he does so, then he will protect him from all sinful reactions. And do not fear. Ma suchaha. Do not worry. Do not fear. In the 7th chapter, it was said that only one who has become free from all sinful reaction can take to the worship of Lord Krishna. Thus, one may think that unless he is free from all sinful reaction, he cannot take to the surrendering process. To such doubts, it is here said that even if one is not free from all sinful reaction, simply by the process of surrendering to Sri Krishna, is automatically freed. So in the 7th chapter, it is said that only one is free from sinful reaction can take the surrendering process. But here, what it says, to such doubts, it is here said that even if one is not free from all sinful reaction, simply by process of surrendering, he is automatically freed. It is the other way. There is no need of strenuous efforts to free oneself from sinful reaction. One should unhesitatingly accept Krishna as the supreme savior of all living entities. With faith and love, one should surrender unto him. So one should have unflinching faith in the words of the Supreme Lord. And we should have unconditional love for the Supreme Lord. Then that surrender is complete. Unflinching faith and unconditional love. Okay, unconditional means we should not attach any strings to that. No attachment of strings. Condition apply in whenever we buy certain things, or in the business deals and all, we'll say, they will say so many, then the small letters they will write conditions apply. There should not be any conditions. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, oh my Lord, wherever you put me in hell, you put me in heaven, you put me in any place, make me broken-hearted, I don't mind, but make me the dust of your lotus feet eternally. I want to be your servant eternally. So that is it. So it is not important for me that I should be in heaven, I should be in Vaikuntha, I should be in Goloka. Wherever you put me, I have no problem. But see that I am always at the lotus feet of your. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also telling. What is that slogan? I forgot the first line. Yeah. Sorry. Yatha vidhatha lambato matrana nathastu sayevana para. Forgot the first line. Anyway. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Shashagam, that's Asileshava, that is Asileshava Padam Dadam Pinasumam Adarsanam Marmahadam Karotua Yatha Vidhatatu Lampato Matpran Nathastuna Sayevanapara. Okay. The last sloga, the 8th. So the process of surrender to Krishna is described in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa. Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam rakshasyaditi vishwaso goptritve varnam tatha atma niksheva karpanye shadvidha sharanagati. 6 types of surrenderance. Anukulasya sankalpa. What is anukulasya sankalpa? Parag Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Means what is beneficiary to me?
Whatever is favorable for devotee,
Favorable.
you should accept. Pratikulasya varjanam.
What is not favorable should leave.
Yeah, we should reject whatever is unfavorable for devotional service. Rakshasyadidi vishwaso means
Rakshasasya Vishwas.
we should have firm faith that Krishna will protect us.
Yes, sir.
from
Yeah,
all
protect.
circumstances. Goptritve varanam tata. What is that?
He is like a Gopal. Varnam Tatha. Varnam means who's the feature is like a Gopal.
Atma nikshepa karpanye. Atma means complete surrenderance.
And
Okay, and Goptritve Varnam Tada, I don't know, maybe in the translation is there. According to the devotional process, one should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimately to the devotion service of the Lord. One may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in the social order, but if by executing his duty one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activities are in vain. Anything that does not lead to the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided. One should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. We read that. This is Rakshasyadidi Vishyaso. Okay. Okay, there is no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Krishna will see to that. One should always think himself helpless, and one should consider Krishna the only basis for his progress in life. He is the only protector, nobody else. Now, we should not depend on many other people. Krishna is the only protector. So that is that. Goptritve Varnam Tata is the only protector. Krishna. There is no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Krishna will see to that. One should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna the only basis for his progress in life. As soon as one seriously engages himself in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes free from all contamination of material nature. There are different processes of religion and purificatory processes by cultivation of knowledge, meditation in the mystic yoga system, etc. But one who surrenders unto Krishna does not have to execute so many methods. That simple surrender unto Krishna will save him from unnecessarily wasting time. One can thus make all progress at once and be freed from all sinful reaction. That's the last. Atma Niksheva Karpani. Shadvidha Sharanagati. 6 types of surrenderance. So one should be attracted by the beautiful vision of Krishna. His name is Krishna because he is all attractive. Sarva Agarshati Idi Krishna. All attractive. One who becomes attracted by the beautiful, all-powerful, omnipotent vision of Krishna is fortunate. There are different kinds of transcendentalists. Some of them are attached to the impersonal Brahman vision. Some of them are attracted by the super soul feature, etc. But one who is attracted to the personal feature of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and above all, one who is attracted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna himself, he is the most perfect transcendentalist. So that we have to underline that. And above all, one who is attracted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna himself. Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can call, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, all. They're all Supreme Personality. But here, Prabhupada is, specifying that Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna himself is the most perfect transcendentalist. In other words, devotional service to Krishna in full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. So, what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? In other words, devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is most confidential part of the knowledge. And this is the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita. Karma yogis, empiric philosophers, mystics, and devotees are all called transcendentalists. Okay. Karma yogis, we know that who are trying to unite with the Supreme Lord through activities, karma. And empiric philosophers means
Jnana Yogam.
Jnanis, yes. And mystics,
Ashtanga Yogas.
yogis, yes. And devotees, definitely. But one who is a pure devotee is the best of all. The particular words used here, ma suchaha, don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed. as to how one can give up all kinds of religious forms and simply surrender unto Krishna. But such worry is useless. We may have some confusion. Now, how is it possible that, leave everything, simply surrender to Krishna? But that worry is useless if you just try to surrender Krishna, just follow the instruction given to Arjuna. We also try to imbibe and practically apply in our day-to-day life. Then Krishna will definitely protect us. Now, just like as we explained here, that Shadvida Sharanagati. If you do that, 6 types of surrenderance, it is Krishna's duty to protect us from all sinful reactions. Okay, it's a beautiful sloka.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, sorry, I forgot what 6 type of surrenderance. Prabhuji, I forgot that one.
The 6, this one, Anukulasya Sankalpa.
Okay, Pratikulasya Bharjanam. Okay, this 6 up from.
Anukulasya Sankalpa Pratikulasya Varjanam Rakshisyati iti Vishwaso Goptrutve Varanam Tatha Atma Niksheba Karpanye Shadvidha Charanagati. This is from
Okay, these are the 6 Sharanagati.
Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So this is from Hari Bhakti Vilas.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, 67. Idam te natapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na chasusrushave vachyam na chasusrushave vachyam na chamam yo abhyasuyati. Idam te natapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na chasusrushave vachyam na chamam yo Abhyasuyati. Okay. Tarani Mataji and Vandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Ita tapaskaya na bhaktaya katachana na shakshusrushave vachyam na cha mam yo abhyasuyati. Hare Krishna.
Translation.
Hare Krishna. Translation. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
Okay, Krishna is telling this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious of me. So what is telling? Never explain this confidential knowledge to whom? Who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, not to one who is envious of me. Okay. Many people are envious of Krishna. Isn't it? Even transcend, even the Mayavadis, they are envious of Krishna. What to speak of others? Krishna Dveshi. Even Mayavadis are Krishna Dveshis. Because they don't accept the form of Supreme Lord Bhagavan. Krishna comes only, he takes form only in the material world, but he has no form. So they are Dveshis. So this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service. They engage in devotional service only here, but that is only a means. But for us, devotees, the means, the goal, both are devotional service. So person who have not undergone the austerities of the religious process, who have never attempted devotional service in Krishna consciousness, who have not tended a pure devotee, and especially those who are conscious of Krishna only as a historical personality or are envious of greatness of Krishna should not be told this most constitutional part of knowledge. So some people accept Krishna, but not as God, but as a historical personality. See, who are conscious of Krishna only as a historical personality, or who are envious of the greatness of Krishna, should not be told this most constitutional part of knowledge. It is, however, sometimes found that even demonic persons who are envious of Krishna, worshipping Krishna in a different way, take to the profession of explaining Bhagavad Gita in a different way to make business. But anyone who desires actually to understand Krishna must avoid such commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. So we should be very careful not to listen from such people. Now, even a glass full of milk touched by a serpent, no, just touched one drop, that is poison. Like that, if we listen the commentary of Bhagavad Gita written by such people, it is just like a spiritual suicide. Actually, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is not understandable to those who are sensuous, who want to enjoy their senses. They will not be able to understand Bhagavad Gita at all. Even if one is not sensuous, but is strictly following the disciplines enjoined in the Vedic scripture, if he is not a devotee, he also cannot understand Krishna. And even when one poses himself as a devotee of Krishna, but is not engaged in Krishna conscious activities, he also cannot understand Krishna. There are many persons who envy Krishna because he has explained in Bhagavad Gita that he is the supreme and that nothing is above him or equal to him. Nothing is above him and equal to him. There are many persons who are envious of Krishna. Such persons should not be told Bhagavad Gita, for they cannot understand. There is no possibility of faithless persons understanding Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. Without understanding Krishna from the authority of a pure devotee, one should not try to comment upon Bhagavad Gita. So this is a clear instruction. Now Prabhupada has given a wonderful purport that we should not listen to Bhagavad Gita from anyone except from pure devotees. If you really want to understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita in the right perspective, one should listen only from a pure devotee, from the lotus lips of pure devotee only, not from anyone else. So that means, this Bhagavad Gita as it is given by Srila Prabhupada. So we should read and try to understand the essence, the real, that is that Guhyatamam, the most confidential knowledge from the Acharyas, Guru Parampara, like that we should try to understand, not from anyone else. There are so many professional reciters of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, and many other scriptures, but they are doing that just for their belly sake, for their survival. So we should not listen from such people who makes a business out of these scriptures. That's why we should listen only from the devotees, who selflessly want to impart this knowledge for their benefit. That is 67. 68 we'll take next week. We started from 64. 64. 64 to 67. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Wo Premanande.